Good evening and welcome to the Magic Arena Run. Today, before I begin, a quick shout out to Ananta Krishnan. One of the very few subscribers that I have, but a very vocal one. Your feedback is actually quite great, and actually, I've decided to do this video more of as a way to as a bit of encouragement also. If you've seen the videos I've done, you've noticed that I did not have a great run with the Izzet Spellweaving deck. Basically, I can say it's some bit of my fault. Too much of going all over the place. I think the best idea is rather, instead of starting at the middle and shifting towards one end or shifting towards the other end, because you're basically not good if you encounter either end. Just start strong at one end and transform to the complete opposite end. So, with that in mind, you'd notice that the first thing I'll have you notice is almost all of our removal is now main deck. Braids used to just be one copy, it's now 3 copies. Added in the shocks, lightning strikes are still in, wizard's lightning still in, and we also added a full bunch of Gitu lava runners. Soul Scar mages still are now relegated to the sideboard. So we're not super streamlined as a wizards build, but but we can kind of get there. So we're pretty much starting off as a base wizards build. I guess if you can fill in with more copies of Adeliz, that'll be perfect. Chandra, I put her because we simply have her. But that's another thing I learned also. You don't just dump stuff just because you have it. It's kind of like the tip about castling in chess. Basically, when you have a special move, you do it when you must, or you do it when you have to, but you don't do it just because you can do it. So I'm keeping Chandra. And let's see. No, there's no way to look at the sideboard, but basically our sideboard is pretty much the counter spell, and so Baral is now in this. So Baral is in the sideboard. I've dropped the Essence Scatters in favor of Negates. Disallow is still in the sideboard. I personally would prefer this to be Supreme Will. I'm running Disallow for now because it's generally more powerful, and the game does give you 4 copies of it as of now. The buyback program is also in the sideboard, so the 3 Gitu Chroniclers are back there as well. I've also replaced the Hour of Devastation with Reverse Rebuke. It's more expensive. It probably would not have saved my bacon in some of the games that you have seen, but in the end I realized that it's no good if I can take out all my opponent's threats if I end up taking out my own. It's about being able to maintain my own board presence while clearing them out. It's also actually a very good answer for Planeswalkers, also a very good answer to white enchantment base removal. The trick here is your opponent is not going to have all the mana to recast everything, unless they're all super cheap. So let's say our opponent casts out one of our guys, Excellence Binding another guy, and has a big threat of his own. If I cast Reverse Rebuke, all 3 of them go back to his hand. He'll be able to recast 1 or maybe 2. He won't recast all 3, so it'll take him some time. So it's like a set of mini time walks. Basically, you're buying enough turns back. Also, it does not ruin your board presence as well. Actually, if you're not too convinced with Gitu Chronicler, I put her here because it's a part of the wizard strategy, but I can understand if you want to run if you want to run Bloodwater Entity instead. I've actually tried this a bit in another casual deck of mine. Interesting thing. If your opponent casts out a Bloodwater Entity, you cast Reverse Rebuke. Guess what's the first thing you're gonna buy back when the Bloodwater Entity returns? Reverse Rebuke. It eats your card draw, but it is actually quite interesting. So I can see myself replacing the Gitu Chroniclers in the long run. But being able to buy something really cheap, like let's say a Shock or even Wizard's Lightning, because it'll cost 1 mana, then just being able to cast it immediately, that's also quite important. So Saheeli Rai kept her here. It's interesting to be able to copy Torrential Gear Hulk again, but I can easily see this as a replaceable trick. Maybe perhaps with a second Reverse Rebuke, that would be perfect. So I've also tested out a few games with this on Quick Constructed. Actually did much better. Actually got my revenge on one of the decks that beat me in competitive, but we never got through to sideboard. So consider this as my revenge post-mortem, because we're going to actually send this pack over to another competitive constructed. This might probably be the only time I'll ever do this, because in the next few weeks I have to pretty much do 8 more sets of competitive constructed, and I don't necessarily have all the wild cards to build all of them, so we'll see how many we can build up. Might even just build what we can for one half, then the other half, when Core 19 comes out, I'll just take that into consideration. Then we'll probably revisit some of the earlier decks to add Core 19 as well. But anyway, that's it for this quick revenge post-mortem. So we're going to actually go into another round of competitive constructed. If you like what you see, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Please don't forget to share with your friends, I suppose. And actually, most importantly, if you're watching something you like, something you don't like, let me know. Actually, your input is actually just as very valuable to me. So many things I'm trying to fix, so many things I'm trying to learn. Some things I really can't fix, like doing the recording now, then just adding the commentary later. A friend of mine suggested that it's a good idea because it stops a lot of the, this guy's about to do this, he didn't, or I'd be really shocked if he did. Oh, he did. But that's part of the thought process also. Also, I actually have a really intense day job, so I can't exactly fiddle that much. But small things like, your audio settings are way too loud. That stuff I can fiddle quickly. That kind of stuff is very helpful for me. Again, quick shout out to Ananta Krishnan, thank you for letting me know all these things I need, all these small things. And again, thank you very much. Now, let's see if we can do much better in competitive constructed with this one. Again, thank you very much, and hope to see you guys again next time.